How did you get that name, Silly Bitches Die?
Oh, so many people asked me.
Sounds like a random generator name.
It's so underwhelming. I was like 16, up to no good, and I think someone's just like, oh, you're a silly bitch. And it just kind of like became a really stupid inside joke. We broke a lot of things to get where we were.
Laws or objects? It was obviously abandoned and stuff like that, and then you were in that event.
Yeah, we expected like maybe 50 or 100 people to rock up, and I think there was like 600-700. I tried to go back there like a year later after a lot of people rinsed it really hard. I literally just had speakers in the cars, and this cop car pulls up, and I'm like, fuck. And they like detained me and my mate and like full pat down searched us. Yeah.
Jeez.
They had me like sitting on the gutter with like 8 cops around me. And I was like, I'm a small, like, child-looking girl. Like, what am I going to do?
As one of Sydney's forefront artists leading a new wave, my guest joining me today has taken the city of Sydney by storm. With her blend of drum and bass and techno, having played at events such as Lost Sundays and recently at Friends of Friends Festival, she is part of the new wave of talent that is coming out of Sydney. Establishing a footprint in the underground scene with her 2 brands, Illicit and CitySoup, creating unique vibes and offering different types of atmosphere. It is my pleasure to introduce my guest today, Bella Noble, also known as Silly Bitches Die.
Yay.
Welcome. Thanks for coming on the show.
Thank you for having me. Thank you.
I think I want to start off with that. How did you get that name, Silly Bitches Die?
Oh, so many people asked me.
Sounds like a random generator name.
It's so underwhelming. It's kind of like, what even happened? I was like 16, up to no good, and I think someone's just like, oh, you're a silly bitch. And I was like, and it just kind of like became a really stupid inside joke, and then changed it to my username, and it kind of just stuck. I couldn't change it to anything else. But
so that was before you started like playing DJing. And
well before. Yeah.
So that was like your Instagram username.
Yeah, yeah. And I remember my mum saw it and she was like, what the fuck is this? And I was like, I can't even explain it, man. I'm sorry.
Yeah, that's a good name though. It's unique though. Everyone remembers it.
Yeah, it's just really, really random. Like, it doesn't make sense, really. It's just fucked.
So like, when you started playing gigs, what made you think that's the name that I want to go with?
I went through so many different names. Like, I like look at old posters and I had like Cheese Dip. I thought that was like a gangster name for some reason. I was like, yeah, that's mad. Like, it's just so foul though. I had Bella Noble was that for a while. And then there was like Run Amok when I was doing just drum and bass. But I was like, nah, these are all shit. I was like, gotta change it up or something. So
stick with Silly Bitches Die.
It made sense.
Just stuck.
Yeah. Yeah, I couldn't change it after that.
And then, did you get a lot of questions? Do you still get a lot of questions about that name?
Yes. Every single time I'm out and like someone's talking about like gigs and stuff, and a lot of like, I think a lot of venues weren't too happy about the name, like putting it on posters and shit. Yeah. But I was like, don't book me if you don't want the name on it.
Do they like abbreviate it though, like SBD?
No.
No, they don't.
Someone put an asterisk on like the bitches part, and I was like, does nothing. Like,
people know what it is.
Yeah, 100%.
Just like for content.
Yeah.
And like, yeah, so you got that name. So when did you start playing? Like, when did you start like getting gigs and everything?
I gave myself my first gig at an Illicit rave in 2021, and that was like March, I think. So I would have been starting to DJ around that time. Like, that set was horrendous when I look back at the... Oh, wow, it was so bad. But I played like... It went from like house to heavy rollers within like a song. It was just... Yeah, but...
No consistency.
Oh, it was... But I don't know. I just get bored very quickly, so I have to change the genres, I guess, which is still...
That's fun though.
Today.
Like, that's fun. And I hate, like, it's not, like, it's great, but like, it's fun to see like different, like, just change. I've seen some of your sets and I've listened to some of them, and like, it's just like drum and bass, and the next song is like just this like fast paced song, and then it just goes back to drum and bass. Yeah. But it's good. It keeps the energy going.
Yeah, I think it's fun. It's like a bit of a challenge as well to mix different beats and stuff. I don't know. It's like people that can mix one genre and make it like a whole journey and stuff. Like, Hands Together for You. Like, that's actually like, it's when you hear like a good set, you can know it's a really good set. But I don't know, different styles, I guess.
That's sort of like what you want. Is that something that you like just choose to do, like just jump through different genres in a set, or is that something that like that works for you? Yeah,
see, like I try not to prepare sets. I just download a shit ton of songs, and see what the crowd's feeling. So if it's more of a drum and bassy kind of crowd randomly, then I'll just play more drum and bass. Or like a lot of the gigs I've been playing recently, they want gabba. And I'm like, I do have gabba and I will play gabba for you. Like gabba's good and it mixes well with everything. But yeah, I don't know. It just depends the gig and like what the crowd wants really. Like
who's asking for gabba?
Like a lot of people come at the front and they're like, play fucking gabba, play gabba. And I'm like, okay, okay.
Is that still around? Like, is that still like, it's not as big as it used to be?
No, I know there's a big hardstyle scene in Australia, like
yeah.
fucking huge like
yeah.
HSU, but and they play more hardstyle and up tempo at events like Massive and stuff. But I don't know many old school gabba collectives, if any. So
yeah,
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't even. I'm just thinking of the genre gabba. I can't even think of what this music would sound like. I know what it sounds like, but I just can't like. Yeah. It's not coming to my head at the moment. All I hear is hardstyle techno. There's no like in between.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't think there's like a gabba collective. But yeah, it's weird that people are requesting it.
There should be.
Maybe there's like a gap in the market.
Yeah, yeah. No, actually, like I wanted to start a thing that I don't know what happened to it, but Grim Events, and it was going to be a gabba collective, but
it's very niche though.
So niche.
Like very niche.
Yeah, it's really hard to pull away from a crowd that like, you know, everyone goes to events for different reasons, obviously, but there's, I think, in like the hardcore and hard genre scene, it's a big focus on like girls and big titties, big asses, fucking, you know, all that. And I'm like, oh, like that's good, but that's not what I would want the branding to be. And it's really hard to separate the people and evolve the crowd into that. But
yeah, I think I know what you mean. Like it's like a standard.
Yeah.
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 And it's like, yeah, you don't want that standard.
I can't do that for him. It's not happening. Yeah.
I know what you mean. Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about and stuff like that. But like you started Illicit and CitySoup, were they started at the same time or separately? Like
they were separate, yeah. Because I was doing, like in 2021, I started it with Kai at Delirious, and then he wanted more techno. And I was like, I want drum and bass. And then we decided to like leave Illicit as like a halfway point. And then he started Namaidi with just techno. And then I started CitySoup in December that year in 2021 doing just drum and bass and stuff.
So CitySoup just drum and bass? Drum
and bass, garage, jungle. It's all like harder styles. Mm-hmm. Yeah. But it was good the first one. Like we had two MCs, which was fun. And it like started pissing down rain randomly. So
it's like an outdoor.
Yeah, it was like a rave, and it just started like thunderstorming, and everyone was like, "Fuck!" And I grabbed a speaker and just took off under a bridge. So it was a pretty good like origin story.
Yeah, was that your first event and just started pissing down?
Yeah, on everyone. Yeah.
Was the weather like forecast planning?
Don't trust Apple weather. Do not do it. Do not do it. It is so shockingly bad. So I was like, I'm on bomb, and it said it was coming. I was like, I didn't check it. I'm sorry.
So you ran. Was that the first CitySoup event you ran?
Yes.
Yeah, because I remember I was talking to Jackson Cahill, and he mentioned that you do like an arts.
Yeah.
Like, is that correct?
I did a gallery night. I just wanted to have a crack at it.
Yeah. How was that?
Really
what is that? What does it entail?
I don't think there's enough street art representation in Sydney. Like I moved to Melbourne last year for like 6 months or so, and I was just like, street art everywhere, and it's so underappreciated in Sydney. And I was like, oh, maybe I could do a gallery night for CitySoup, because it is all about street culture and stuff, like the actual underground street culture. And a lot of people were really keen to get their art up on the walls and their photos, and there's like a lot of graphers and doing pieces and stuff. And what else was there? There are a lot of photographers from urbexing and stuff, and a lot of painters. But yeah, and then we had DJs downstairs, and a lot of people came for a Wednesday night. I was like really shocked.
Oh, it was a Wednesday?
Yeah.
Interesting.
There was probably like 200 people that came through, which was like mind-boggling.
Was it like a rave downstairs, or more just like ambient sort of like background music?
It was supposed to be ambient. I actually said to the boys who only play really hard drum bass, I was like, try and play jungle, and that's BXVK and BMX, and they're like, okay, we'll have a crack at it. And it just turned from like really slower kind of music, and everyone was like, faster. So the boys just ended up it just turned into like a rave in the courtyard. So it was pretty good.
Where was that held?
The Lord Gladstone.
Is that like an art gallery?
It's a pub.
Oh,
And
it's
they
a
have
pub.
they have like a room upstairs called Good Space Gallery, and then downstairs they have a big courtyard with like a 2-level smoking area.
Okay.
It's very cool.
That's
I would
really, where's that?
recommend it. In Chippendale.
Okay, awesome.
Very
Yeah,
good pub.
because that's a very unique idea to sort of have like an art exhibition and like a music, like live music. Obviously, you have like live music with arts exhibition, but like to mix like electronic music with that.
Yeah, I just thought I'd have a crack at something different.
Have you seen that before?
No.
So you sort of just like came up with it.
Yeah, I
You can
yeah.
claim it.
Mine. I don't know. I feel like that's what CitySoup is. It's like it's aiming at involving as many parts of the creative scene as like I can.
Yeah.
It's like for the next one, I'm gonna try and get some breakdancers and stuff.
Exclusive content.
Yeah.
Yeah. So like that's like CitySoup brand is like for the like describe the brand because like I've got an understanding but I don't want to like misinterpret it.
I would say like CitySoup is more. It sounds really like cringy, but it's like more people, not a brand.
Mm-hmm.
Like we have a very, very strong community around it that has grown so well, just without even doing anything. People are just so nice that rock up and stuff. Like it's all about the crowd and the people, and everyone's just so friendly at it. It's really nice to see. Yeah.
So you sort of like you want to get people involved in. So that means like would that entail like getting people that are involved as like playing at the gigs as well?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I try and give at least like almost words. Almost every event I try and get someone on that hasn't played a set before because I feel like there's too many DJs for how many gigs there are. Like it's not very fair to just put the same DJs on rotation. Obviously you can have residents and stuff, but there is a lot of people that just are waiting for that first gig. And if I didn't give myself my first gig, I never would have got one. Like I know that.
Yeah. So you gave your first gig at your own events?
Yeah.
Oh really? So
Yeah.
you started running events before you were even DJing or anything?
Yeah, I did one rave in Arncliffe in like a abandoned clubhouse that I found with my mate. And
Like you ran that or you played it?
I ran it.
Oh, you ran it?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think I was like freshly out of high school. Yeah.
That's pretty good though. I don't remember what I was doing at freshly out of high school. Probably applying for uni or something, but
Oh, something useful maybe. Yeah. I don't know.
that sounds like fun though.
It was fun, yeah. Like for an 18-year-old.
Yeah, so you found like an abandoned warehouse and then you just ran that event or
Yeah.
clubhouse.
Yeah, because I'd been going to raves like all through lockdown.
1.5 meters.
Yeah, just stay away.
Little square ones with like the boxes.
Oh, imagine that. Oh.
Those would be horrible. Have you seen like those concerts and stuff that they used to have? I remember when that first came out on like Instagram, people were viewing it. Everyone was like, "What is the point of this?"
You're breathing the same air. Like
Yeah, but it's just like it's not even fun. Like you're in your own box. Like what are you supposed to do? Like point to the next person in the next box? Like hey.
imagine like a heavy metal concert and they're trying to mosh and they're like,
Even like any concert. Like imagine just like singing and then you sort of just hear your own voice because like everyone's so far away.
oh, that'd be so embarrassing. Like the back of the videos.
Yeah. But
Yeah.
that's off topic
Yeah.
from what we were talking
Tangent.
about. But yeah, so you like found like a clubhouse, and then like you ran your own event. What was that event? Like what happened?
We actually like tried to partner with this. So I'd been going to raves for like ages, and then I met this guy through the raves that was a lot older than us, and I was like, "Oh, do you want to help us put on a rave?" And he was like, "Oh yeah," and he just brought DJs, to be honest. And we had like the smallest sound system, like so underprepared, but we had like this whole plan to like I don't even know if this is we broke a lot of things to get where we were.
Laws or objects? We can always cut it out.
No, both.
Both.
Definitely both. You know what? I've copped the backhand for it already. So, yeah, both.
Both.
Yeah. But it was abandoned, so
Oh yeah.
doesn't matter.
Well, we're not going to go into detail, but just
leave it up to your imagination.
yeah, what they did. So like it was obviously abandoned and stuff like that, and then you ran that event.
Yeah, we expected like maybe 50, 100 people to rock up, and I think there was like 600-700. Yeah.
Was it ticketed or just like?
I think we sold 100 tickets online because we didn't even know we needed a door person. Like we didn't. Yeah, we so underprepared, but it was pretty good. I think it got shut down at like 3 a.m.
Okay.
which wasn't too bad of a result, really.
It's pretty good for like in like a secret rave.
Yeah.
3 a.m.'s like it's like yeah, whatever, it's shut down. Like we've had our fun.
Yeah. Yeah.
Far out.
But
Did you get any consequences for when it got shut down? Was like, were you? Again, we don't have to go into detail.
Oh no, that's fine. That one I actually didn't like really cop anything until I tried to go back there like a year later after a lot of people rinsed it really hard. And I literally just had speakers in the cars, and this cop car pulls up and I'm like, fuck. And they like detained me and my mate and like full pat down searched us. Yeah.
Jeez.
And he got in shit because he had what did he have? He had like what are those knives called?
Like a Swiss Army knife?
No, like a box cutter.
Oh, like
thing.
a safety knife.
He's a carpenter. and he had all of his tools, and they're like, you're not allowed to have this. And he was like, what?
I've never heard of them you getting detained. I thought they just sort of tell you just like, hey, just back up, or like just don't worry about it. Like we'll shut it down anyway.
They're like pretty angry sometimes. Sometimes they're really good.
I've heard so many mixed bag, but like most of them, from what I've heard, are pretty good.
Yeah, it just depends the day you get them on, I reckon. Like, they're people. They have shit days as well. I get that. They're probably sick of doing the same thing over and over.
Shutting down raves.
Yeah. But like the Halloween event last year, they had me like sitting on the gutter with like 8 cops around me. And I was like, I'm a small like child looking girl. Like, what am I going to do? And like the sergeant came down and was like, I was like,
jeez.
Sorry.
I've not seen that. Like, yeah, I've talked to a few people and they've just said it's literally just, they've helped, some cops even help you pack up.
Yeah.
But you seem to have a completely different story.
I think because I'm a lot younger than a lot of other people, and I don't look as maybe clean cut as a lot of people.
Right.
Which is fun. That's the way I like it. But I do look like a delinquent. Like,
I don't think so, but it is stereotyping you.
Like at a rave, you're just like under a bridge and you're like, hi.
Oh yeah, okay. Yeah, maybe if you're under a bridge at a rave, then yeah.
Set the scene. Yeah. But you know, like there are a lot of really nice cops that I've dealt with. Like some of them even offered me a lift home, and like took the piss out of me, gave me a little banter, and I was like, I like this. This is good.
You don't cop like a fine or anything?
Not yet. Apparently, I could be waiting on one, which sucks. I'm still waiting for that letter, and I don't want it.
For like a rave?
So they said if they find out it's a ticketed event, which it wasn't, the council can sue me. That's what they said, and something else. I don't remember what it was.
Because like making money on council grounds.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
And they were like, just ask the council. I was like, come on now.
Avoid that confrontation as much as possible. Yeah. So like with that first event, going back to it, and the fact that you like hosted your first ever event without even DJing, not the first ever one, but like the illicit one.
Yeah.
You've hosted that without even DJing ever.
Mm-hmm.
You usually hear like a different story. People are like DJing and they're like, oh, I'm going to run an event.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. I think
what interested you in like hosting events before actually starting to play music?
I was a little bit naughty in high school, and I was that kid who threw Airbnb parties.
Oh,
like,
okay.
Really often at like really nice, decent houses. So fucked. Like when I think about
this episode might not come out because this could be a lot of incriminating evidence.
Oh, it's fine. I think I actually already said it on Jordan's little radio thing with
with
Tom.
With Tom, yeah.
Yeah. I think, and I was just like, oh, it's out. It's if people want to find it, they can find it pretty easily. But I just liked throwing those parties, I remember, because I would see like Eshays talking to like really ulty kids, talking to like, this person, this genre of person, and everyone like would put aside their social status and all this hierarch bullshit.
Like the Airbnb parties.
Yeah. And then just like come together and like talk to people and then go back to school, and it just never happened. And then, but they'd give like the nod or whatever in the in the hallways. And I saw the same effect at raves. And that's what I really like about the raves that we throw, is that like every genre of person comes together, and it like doesn't really matter who you are. It's just there for the same reason, really.
Yeah. So that's why that's what interested you initially.
Yeah.
To sort of start running them.
Just the people, really. Just thought it was fun.
Yeah. And then were you already DJing, or did you like try and shit out before that, or is that like your first ever time?
Yeah, that was the first time, I think. Yeah. I think.
Did you get any practice in before that?
I think so. My mate Ethan, his dad, Ben, he bought him decks for Christmas, and Ethan was like, I don't care for these, like respectfully, but like he just didn't. He couldn't be bothered to do it. And I was like, I'll play on them. So I started playing on them, and yeah, so I can thank Ben for my DJ career, really.
He started it all out.
He did.
So then what were those decks?
What were they? I don't even.
They're like the ones like CD, like
1000s.
like the what? Sorry,
1000s. Were they?
What they look like?
It was a controller.
Right.
Trying to remember.
Yeah.
It was a minute ago.
I'm not good with like knowing. I only like two types of decks.
I'm terrible. Like I definitely should be better.
Were they like club decks or like just like?
No, they weren't separate. It was like a one-piece controller.
Oh, so they had a laptop or no laptop?
Yes, it was a laptop.
Was
I
it a
think.
laptop? Yeah.
Yeah. I'm trying to remember. Yeah, I think it was. Yeah.
And then what sort of decks did you have when you played that first illicit one? Was it like a pair of like CDJs like?
No, I still don't even have CDJs. They're so spenny.
Yeah,
like,
they are.
So expensive. I have RX2s.
Yeah, okay.
They're very easy, and like that's what we use for some of the raves. You just put it under your arm and just.
Everyone usually has those. Like the CDJ, like the whole setup is like expensive.
It's a lot.
It's pricey.
Yeah.
But you obviously know how to play on them.
Yeah. I think if you can play on RX2s, you can play on anything.
Yeah.
Same with the like. If I even try and play on like a DDJ 400, I freak out. Really? I'm like, oh, everything's really sensitive and like different.
That's the decks that I have at home at the moment, and they're like, they've just got like I've gone to like DJ City and stuff, and I've seen like the CDJ setups, and they've got so much more like to do. Like there's so much more with like creativity and stuff. Like like the DDJ 400 is like have just like a couple knobs and that's it.
If you can mix on those, like Jesus Christ.
I thought it'd be easy to mix on like a pair of like RX2s or like a pair of like actual CDJs.
I think it's a lot easier. Yeah.
Because there's more to do. There's more you can sort of do. It's not just like mixing between songs. You can like sort of play with the song and like different effects and all that sort of stuff.
100%. Like the EQs. Wow, they're great.
Yeah. So with like your music though, were you sort of always like into music, or was it sort of just came up out of like, like as soon as you finished high school, like yeah, right, techno is it?
I actually like taught myself instruments like in high school out of pure boredom.
Okay.
And I really love rock. That's like my that's my genre that I really, really love, like all kinds of it. And then I started going to raves, and I wasn't really going to raves for like the music, I would say. 17 in the middle of the bush, you're not there for the music.
For the experience.
Yes, 100%. For the memories.
For the vibes.
100%.
So like that was your first experience of like techno.
And it was like melodic techno. So already like listening to like heavy metal and then going to like a slow genre in another totally different side of music. I was like, oh yeah, like this is good, like I can appreciate it, but I was like, I need something harder and faster, like ASAP. So that's I think why I started doing that music at the raves. Like
drum and bass and like techno and stuff.
Love D&B. It's great. Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like it's an acquired taste. Personally, I don't know. I wouldn't say I'm not a fan, but not my preference.
Oh, like I feel like with a lot of genres, if you have a whole night of it, it gets too much.
Yeah.
Way too much.
Yeah, D&B, I feel like I've always stereotyped it as like a very like messy.
Yeah, it has
but
that.
It's wild as hell. Like I've seen some D&B raves and they're just like wild.
It's very rowdy. Like that is. Yeah, wow, the crowd does get really rowdy.
Because you brought D&B to like Lost Sundays, basically. Like you didn't bring it, but like you played D&B at like Lost Sundays.
Yeah,
it's not very common at Lost Sundays, is it?
I don't think I was supposed to play over 140 BPM that set, but I was like, it's a closing set. These people like they need something to keep going. I don't know. It was good fun.
Did you get in trouble for that?
I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what they say.
The crowd liked it though, didn't it?
I think so, yeah. Like it turned from like a very like side to side event to like mosh very quickly, and I went, oh my fuck, shit. I was like looking at my mates. I was like, am I supposed to do this? Like, Is this bad?
I think I've seen that in like one of your clips on Instagram. You're like looking around, but I thought it was like more just like reacting like, oh, this is so sick, but like you're just like anxious, like
I
what
was
the fuck?
shitting it so hard.
Yeah,
Oh.
because like as I said, it's not really like a Lost Sunday type of vibe.
Not at all. No.
It's more like melodic,
Yes.
very like trendy.
That's the thing. It's like techno and house is very side to side, and drum and bass is up and down. That's like if I was to.
That's a great way to put it. I've never actually even like thought of it that way.
Oh yeah, yeah.
No, I've never thought like side to side, up and down. But yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, you just like watch the crowd movement. It changes so quickly.
Even being in the crowd, you realize that it's more like it's very much up and down.
Yeah,
jumping around. No one's really moshing to techno.
No, no. It's like more of like a respect the space kind of thing. Like,
not even respect the space. 'Cause people don't respect the space.
Do love techno. It's good.
Yeah, it's awesome. But like, sort of, yeah. So Illicit started, and then you played that event, and then CitySoup sort of. How did you sort of start CitySoup?
Oh, I did like. I felt very clever at the time, and I still like give myself a pat on the back for it. But I was like super poor, broke as hell, and I had no money to start up CitySoup. So I started this membership program, and I made everyone membership cards. If you paid $7, and you get 15% off all your tickets for like the whole year, and it has like their photo on it, and then like a tag and like the CitySoup logo. And I think like 50 people bought them or so, and I promoted it from the Illicit account. And then that gave me money to start up the first rave. And then I just asked a bunch of mates that were going to like the Illicit events. I was like, oh, do you want to play? And that's like how like BMX and BXVK, who now run CitySoup with me, actually like got involved as well. And then Macca and Mossy, they MC'd, which was fucking so good. Like the energy changes so much.
At every event or just at like the recent one?
Just the first one. Macca moved to the UK.
Oh.
Yeah.
Rip.
But yeah. No.
She like grinded. You like full grinded like to get CitySoup started.
Always
like
on the hustle.
Yeah, literally, like such a hustle story. It's like you look back on it, it's like those stories like I had nothing in my bank account and now now I'm here.
Still poor.
That's a cool idea though. Like that. It's like a funding program.
Yeah. Yeah, I didn't even I look back and I'm like, fuck, that was like a good move. That was, and like only a select few people have those cards now, and people still whip them out and they're like, I'm like, you were there.
It's like, yeah, VIP membership. They're like long service.
Certified OG.
Yeah, literally. So yeah, then you started that, and then you had the first event and stuff. And how's CitySoup going at the moment? Like,
good.
Yeah.
Yeah. I love CitySoup. It's like I think it's a big reflection on me. Illicit is more like, it's more of like something that's been going for so long now. It's like built its own kind of identity. But CitySoup, I feel, is a very big reflection on like the whole crowd. It's the branding is like so parallel with the people and like what they do and stuff. It's like very graphy, skatey, grimy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's like very much like for all the people.
Yeah. Yeah.
And how did the name CitySoup come about? I think I've got an idea in my head, but I'll let you.
Can I hear yours first, actually? Because it's...
Well, I feel like there's a backstory to yours, but I think mine would be like, city, and then soup is like, because everything's just in one. And then everyone's just...
I'm going to start saying that. That is so much better.
Because like a soup is like, everything's in one. So it's like everything, you just have everything, I guess. Yeah.
That
it sounded better in my head.
No, I get what you're saying. That actually, I like that a lot better than... Where it came from.
Where did CitySoup come from?
It's so underwhelming as well, especially with this. I kind of wanted CitySoup not to feel like a forced thing. I wanted it to be like really casual and not like unplanned, but the vibe to be very like sketched up, like draft kind of vibe. So I literally
like
went, like just chill. But I didn't want to think of a name that was like too specific to raves and stuff. So I went on random word generator.
Oh, so this going back to what I was talking about at the start.
Yep. And I just went generate, said city. I was like, yeah, okay. And then put that word aside and then generate. And it just ended up being soup. I don't know. I think I like went from, I think it started with like urban soup or something, and I was like, that sounds shit. So I like went on synonym. That's
she did the rounds.
Yeah. Yeah. And then I was like, what's a cool color that I can do that will like stand out? And green. So
Green's pretty cool. Like, it's a good color to have.
Yeah.
With white as well.
I felt like red's very techno, and like I find blue very like housey
Mm-hmm.
and like daytime like fun. And I was like, green's just kind of like yuck, but like in a good way. I don't know.
Yeah,
It's
I know
like
what you mean. I feel like
Yeah.
it represents soup as well, like the actual word soup. Green is soup. When you think of soup,
Yeah.
you think of green.
yeah.
At least I do.
No, 100. Yeah, I agree actually.
So what are you more involved in right now? CitySoup or illicit?
I do both of them.
Both of them?
Yeah.
Is that full time?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And on top of like your gigs and stuff and what you
Yeah. I'm very lucky. I get to do music full time now,
play? Yeah.
which is so cool.
When did you get to that point where you sort of were doing it full time?
I was straight out of school. I was doing IT, which was like
At uni or just like a job?
just got a job smack out of nowhere. Too much money for an 18-year-old. I had never owned a computer, and then I went in and they were like, yeah, sure, like do it.
So what were you doing? Like
Cyber stuff. Like it was kind of like coding kind of stuff.
oh shit.
Really random. I don't know. I was just sitting
Were you
there
into
like
that, like were you doing that stuff beforehand, or you just literally
literally just went because I was like, that's a good pay. I want that job. And then I went, and they're like, why should we hire you? I was like, because I have no previous training. You can show me how you want. And they're like, boom, done. I was like, oh fuck yeah.
What the fuck? That's,
Yeah.
That's like I feel like that's like the worst thing you could say to someone in an interview. Is like, I've got no experience.
Yeah. I was just like, I'm gonna be honest, man. Like I've got nothing to offer, so you can do what you want with me, really. Like I don't know. And they're like, yeah, we like the honesty. I was like, cool.
So how was that
Yeah.
job?
Didn't last very long.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Did you leave?
Yeah. It was like pencil skirt, heels.
Oh, right.
Couldn't have my tattoos out. Couldn't have my mullet out.
Not you.
I'm too anti-establishment for that, I think. I don't know. It just didn't work out.
Just not your identity.
No.
Yeah.
It sucked.
Yeah, that's fair though. Like if it's pushing, it's making you be a completely different person, like out of your skin completely.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know what you mean. It's that would have sucked.
Yeah, and I was the youngest there by like a fair bit. Everyone there was uni graduates. Obviously, they weren't very happy about the idea of a freshly 18-year-old coming through, but I get that. That's fine. But
Was
yeah,
like a traineeship or something. They hired you on, or just like a full-time basis.
literally a full-time basis. Super strange.
That's really strange. It never really hit, especially in cyber and IT.
So weird. I
No
was
experience, just
in Chatswood.
interesting.
Yeah.
What the fuck, Chatswood? Yeah.
And like the office had like a view of the whole city, and I was like, this is so luxy. It's ridiculous. Yeah.
Yeah, because that's like my job. My office overlooks the city, but it's like, yeah, I like that's the only good part.
What do you do?
Consulting.
Oh, true.
Yeah, risk and compliance.
Is it good?
So, just started this year.
Oh.
I enjoy it. It's good. This is like a passion project though.
Yeah.
Hopefully,
Yeah.
I'm able to do it full time, but we'll see. But it's good so far. Like,
Fingers crossed. Yeah.
yeah, it's paying the bills. That's the main thing.
That's
It's keeping behind the tune funded.
that's what we love. Thank you, consulting.
Yeah, but where was I going before we went on a tangent? Oh yeah, how did you sort of like with music and stuff? Did you when did you like get into that full time?
Honestly, like around the raves, like probably not the first year, or maybe it was like maybe when CitySoup just started, and then I was like, I don't want to have to be doing all of it. If I can just do music and support myself financially, why wouldn't I? And I don't know why, but I've always kind of been the person to not want a lot of money. Like I'm very happy being like low key skint,
Okay.
but like still have everything that I want, like need, but like I don't need, like I don't want much. I'm pretty chill with like how I am.
like materialistic stuff and
Yeah,
shit like
I think it's all a bit bullshit, to be honest. I don't know.
that.
It's like a lot of people. Oh, who was it? I'm not gonna name and shame, but someone was like, your whole friend group. So all of us are all the same kind of vibe, and they're like, looks like you guys shop at Vinnie's and just put on TNs. I was like, that is pretty much the story.
Perfect description.
100%. Yeah.
Is that like just the way you were raised, do you think, or just because you sort of developed that mindset as you grew older?
I think it's a bit of both. Yeah. I'm not too sure. I think, I don't know, I've always been maybe taught by my mum like those things aren't important at all. Like always have what you need. You don't need everything you want. And I think the friend groups I like developed into and stuff, a lot of them were super materialistic, and I kind of despised it a little bit. I was like,
Also, you already like not materialistic.
Yeah, I think
Right.
I was a bit of a hippie when I was younger as well. Like I hit that phase hard, like so hard. But yeah, I don't know. I think like the friend group I have now, especially, we do not care what you look like at all. It's like the last thing we care about, to be honest. It's like if you come in flexing something, we're like, fuck.
Oh wow.
off.
Okay.
Yeah,
It's like the opposite of like most friend groups. It's like most friend groups, like if you're wearing the most expensive stuff, everyone's like, yeah, that's the guy.
that's so sick, man. Like, where did you get that?
But yours is like the opposite. I think that's cool though, because it's like no egos, no like bullshit,
We try.
no like posturing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think we're all very transparent. It's like if you like us, then you like us. If you don't, then that's not everyone's supposed to like everyone. I completely understand that.
What do you guys flex in your friend group though? If it's not like materialistic things, so it's like a flex in your friend group.
That's a good question. I reckon maybe I don't know. I'm trying to think if anyone sucks anyone else off or something like something.
That's a good way to put it.
Yeah. I actually haven't. I gotta actually think about that one.
I mean, it's good
This
if you
is good.
can't think of anything, because it means like you don't really like care for like. I mean, you obviously care, but like you don't care for like materialistic things, I guess.
Yeah.
Or like that sort of stuff.
It's kind of nice like that. Like I like having friends where you don't have to do anything to do something.
Mm-hmm.
You can kind of just sit there and just kick rocks, and it'll be sweet.
Yeah.
Like just talking rubbish, really.
Fulfilling.
Yeah. I think it's nice having like a house for everyone to go to.
Yeah.
I think that's a very like pro thing for me. Like I live by myself and they all still live at home, so they're all like, kick on Zap Bellas, and I'm like, oh yeah.
Yeah, that's one thing my friend group hasn't established. Was everyone is still at home,
Fair.
but yeah,
Yeah.
in this climate,
Oh.
you can't expect anything else. How are you doing that? Like living like, do you have housemates?
Yeah, I live with 3 boys.
Okay.
Yeah, in a share house in Redfern, which is a very expensive area,
Mm-hmm.
but my landlord doesn't believe in gentrification, and he believes that he owns a whole block of terraces, and he wanted to make a community on the block that we live on so that everyone was really friendly and stuff, and he wanted to keep the price down so young people could still afford to live. I was like, are you real?
Is landlord real?
Oh, Rodney, I love you. He's
One of
he's
the only
great.
good landlords.
He's like this grom. He's so cool.
That's
I love
actually
him.
sick. That's
Yeah.
cool. Like that's crazy that you say that your landlord's like supportive.
Oh, he's against like overpricing. It's so whack. And like if
he
we have a
literally
problem,
buys houses to provide housing.
yeah, literally, yeah. And all of our backyards are like kind of conjoined, so like everyone talks to each other. It's really good.
So you have like a street. Is like is it all like same age sort of thing?
Our neighbors, one of them lives with me now, but he runs raves as well, hypno.
Mm-hmm.
It's very like good techno.
Mm-hmm.
He used to live next door, now lives with us. So when we moved in, it was like we could have parties
it was
forever,
simple, yeah.
and it doesn't really matter. And a girl that lives there, India, she's very like artistic and stuff. So everyone's kind of creative on the block. Like everyone either does music or art or something like that. Yeah,
That's actually cool. That's a sick street.
very lucky.
We'll beep it though. No one knows where it is. But
Beep.
yeah, but that's very lucky. That like you don't really get that sort of feeling anymore with like apartment blocks.
Yeah,
Everyone's sort of just stuck in their own little apartment.
yeah,
And you'll just see a neighbor like, I don't know, at the clothesline or something.
yeah. No, oh, hey,
Yeah.
yeah. I don't know.
Every
And
other.
it's really good. Like we have people over a lot as well, considering the industry that we work in. But like even there was a time I did an event at the Gladdy, like the little Gladstone in Chippo, and I was like, oh yeah, kick-on's at my place if you guys want. Set it to like 2 people. Went back to my house. Don't know how anyone found my address, and there was like 40 people in my house, and I was like, I just shut the door and I went, oh, what the fuck?
I've made a mistake.
Yeah. But like the neighbors came over as well, and they're like, yeah, party.
Are they like younger, like 20s?
Yeah.
Oh really?
Yeah, most of them, yeah.
Yeah. That's
Yeah.
good then, because then at least they understand.
Yeah.
They're not like, I would have like.
100%, yeah. Even the ones that are in their 30s, they come over and they're like,
Let me live.
yeah.
Far, yeah. You always hear about those stories like, oh yeah, kick-ons at someone's house, but like you never actually see it come into fruition. The amount of times like someone's like kick-ons and we just never go.
No, don't blame you. It's
just like it's out of the way.
You get full battler at like 5 a.m. and you're just like, leave.
Oh yeah, hosting it would be even worse. Attending it's like different because you can just leave whenever you want. But like
It's-
hosting
yeah.
it's like you got to wait for every single one of these people to leave.
Yeah, there's been times where I'm just like, okay, up,
Kick everyone out.
get the fuck out. There is a train on, get on it.
Are you close to the station?
Oh, like a minute walk.
Okay, that's good for them.
It's ridiculously
Get
close
out.
to Redfern. Yeah. Yeah.
So what sort of that was a good conversation. Just exactly what the podcast would be.
Yeah.
Literally, no more interviews. Just talk about shit like this.
Porridge, love it.
But like back to the interviews though. What's next for like CitySoup and Illicit? Like what do you see it like turning into?
Illicit, I really wanted to focus on more house and techno, and keep a really strong Sydney base to it. And CitySoup, I have plans. So there's like the CitySoup crew, which is like me, James, Blake, and Max, and they help a lot running the events, especially like the setup and stuff. Like I would not be able to carry those speakers and subs. Like I've tried and I make a fool of myself. But they help a lot and they put in so much effort to like their gigs and their sets and all that. So I'm going to try and take CitySoup over to New Zealand in January.
New Zealand?
Yeah.
Shit.
I think it's like the second biggest place in the world for drum and bass.
New Zealand?
Yeah.
Oh wow. And what number one would be like what, UK?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is just like crazy to think about. It's New Zealand. Like
New Zealand's a random I
our
would not
brother
have thought
country.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's super strange, but they're massive on it. Like it's brilliant. But I'm gonna try and I'm talking to this collective over there to maybe do a collab with them, and then they can come here, and they're the same age as us, so it's like we just get a fun experience out of it.
Yeah.
But I want to take CitySoup around. I think it's done like quite a bit in Sydney. I'm obviously staying in Sydney. Like there's no chance I'm moving anywhere else again. But I don't know. I think I'm gonna keep the same morals for CitySoup. I want to make sure that we never turn like ego driven or commercial. Yeah. I don't want it to be cheesy. Like it can be like commercial without being cheesy, I think. And I think a lot of people really want the raves still, but like with that task force they have out with the cops, I don't really want to risk that.
What task? Is there a new task force?
There is. There was like little Chinese whispers kind of things going on, and then someone's confirmed it. They got issued $2 million to shut down illegal parties.
Recently?
Yeah. And people are getting like their gear taken off them and like giving it back broken, like their decks, and they're getting fines. And I'm like, I'd rather just wait until that 2 million runs out.
How long that gonna be?
Oh, that's what I'm thinking. But you know, venues, I think Sydney's coming back slowly yet surely, and venue wise, like there's so many good venues now.
Yeah, I've noticed that as well. Yeah, because Fresh 18, my number one club was like Ivy.
Yeah.
But now Ivy's like Los Angeles to me. That's like the only thing I associate Ivy with.
It's just finely tuned the whole weekend. Yeah.
Yeah, because I was talking to Justin Muscat, and he was saying they're actually the opposite. Like Sydney's good, but like they're saying like the cops are like just going crazy right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't realize he didn't actually mention that it was like a task force.
Yeah.
Like they've just like set out.
Because I heard it from like a few people here and there.
Is that New South Wales or like Australian?
New South Wales.
That's crazy considering Labor just came in.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I
thought Liberal were like the ones that just like hated. Like they literally started like the whole like getting rid of all the festivals and stuff like that, and making it like very expensive. And Labor's just like, yeah, we're gonna continue that.
Thank you.
We're gonna double down on that.
I'm like not too educated in politics and stuff, but like I know when they're being fuckwits.
Yeah.
They're not doing us too well.
Yeah, but this party shouldn't be doing that based on what they've promised and considering the last party. So
I agree. They need to do better. But it's just it takes like a certain amount of people to pull a movement together. Otherwise,
that's what Justin was saying to me. He was like it'd be cool to. He's like wants to get something started. It's like unionize techno.
Yeah, because I brought that up to him the other week.
Oh, Justin Muscat.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, he might have been talking to you about it then as well.
He made like a little post, and I was at a venue the other day, and like I got threatened a life ban for standing in the line and just knowing someone.
By the security?
Yeah. Well, like the main manager, he was just on a fucking power trip. He was like, "You're gonna get a life ban. You're gonna," and we're like, "Me?"
You're just standing in line.
I was literally just standing in line, and then like my mate they were like, if I see a drink in your hand, I'm gonna smash your fucking head in. And I was like,
Wait, who said that?
the security to like
What the fuck?
my mate. And then we were just like, what's even happening? But I was like, the security, there's a split difference I've noticed. They're either there to like protect you or they're there to kick you out. And it's like a very wide gap between the two. But that needs to fucking stop.
Yeah.
It's actually ridiculous. Like, people in the crowd, one person gets kicked out, you lose 10 people that they've come with.
Yeah, literally. That's so true. The amount of times that we've left like an event from one person getting kicked out.
Yeah.
For no reason.
Mm-hmm.
Literally just standing there, or they just trip over a stair because like it's dark.
And it's
they're like,
slippery.
Yeah, and they're like, how many drinks you had? It's like, what the fuck do you mean how many drinks I've had? Like, you know I've had a lot to drink today. Like,
Yeah.
like, what do you expect me to say?
It's always the most sober person that gets kicked out as well, I've noticed. Like, in my friend group, it's like, he's actually had 2 tonight.
He's got his car keys, he's like, I'm literally driving. I'm like, nah, get out of here.
That actually happened. Like, someone got kicked out for being too pissed or whatever. And he literally just walked out and was like, I'm driving. He's like, yeah, sure, you're right. He just got his keys and put it in the car and he went,
Was he
bye.
like, oh, what was he sober? Or,
He was sober, yeah.
oh.
And he's just like, yeah.
Yeah, but I didn't care at that point.
Oh, it's so
Yeah,
stupid.
the amount of times. And even like IDs and stuff as well.
Oh,
Like, I understand they have like a quota, but sometimes it's like ridiculous.
yeah.
It's like,
agree.
there's like no one in there. Why are you asking me for my ID?
Or they ask for like 3 forms of it. And I'm like, I don't have 3 forms of it. No.
Who does?
Yeah. I
Like,
have my
not even like
status piece.
backpackers have 3 forms of ID with them.
No, fully, like, I have the app. That's all I got. Enjoy
Yeah.
it.
Fuck, yeah, so I didn't know there was like a task force. Just how recent? Do you know how recent it is? Like when it got?
Last few months, I think.
Yeah, okay.
I don't know. It was from like a lawyer that said it to someone, and then like my housemate, and then he told me, and I was like, oh, that's so brilliant. I love
Yeah.
that. That's great.
Yeah, so like, what's that? What implications does that have on like CitySoup?
It,
Like what you want to do as well.
I wouldn't mind. Like, I really wanted to do some more warehouse raves, but warehouses are so expensive. So
Really?
expensive to hire. Yeah. It's like upwards of $4,000 a night for hire.
Oh shit!
Which-
Plus everything else.
Yeah. So like the amount of effort you put into it, it's not worth like the amount of stress. And then if it gets shut down, like,
You just lost all that money.
yeah.
You can't even like
Yeah.
and refunding and stuff.
Yeah. No, it's just nuts how expensive it's gotten. Like, I can understand it is a massive risk and stuff. Like, I'm not blaming them per se, but I think some of them may be monopolizing it a little bit. Yeah. But I don't know. There is only a few warehouses and stuff. But again, if those get shut down, then we've got nothing. So
Yeah, true. I mean, someone else might open up a warehouse.
Hopefully.
But like, yeah, sort of. Obviously, the warehouse is probably the ones that are getting targeted the most by this task force. Then.
I think it's like a lot of the underbridge spots and like random bumfuck nowhere spots are getting targeted a lot, but the warehouses I think are harder to get shut down, which is good.
Mm-hmm.
But you just really hope they don't get shut down, because if they get shut down once, they go back every weekend to check that there's no parties on, which sucks.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I mean, it's fair enough. That's probably understandable why they do that. But
Yeah,
you
it's
just gotta,
pretty
like,
obvious.
lay low until they sort of come back.
Yeah,
Until
and like
they don't come back.
everyone's losing money. Like the warehouse people that are organizing it and stuff, like they lose so much money and time and effort that they've put into like renovating the place and all that. So just give better venues to us, maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In terms of better venues, do you mean like official venues? Like,
Yeah, I just like went to Melbourne last year, and went to Melbourne, but I did. And the venues down there, like, it just makes so much more sense. Everyone was so much like easier going in the sense of like, this is normal. They know how to club, like they know how to go clubbing and not be a fuckwit and not get too pissed. Or if you do, like, you can go to the security and be like, hey, I've done arse. Can you get me water? And they're like, yeah, no worries. Like, that's sweet. And then they'll help you out. But I feel like here, everyone's a bit more paranoid of security and stuff. And when you're paranoid, you get sneaky. And then when you're sneaky, problems happen.
yeah.
Which
It's like you're not going to stop it. You're just going to promote unsafer ways of doing it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think that's why raves work, is because there's no stress that you're doing the wrong thing. So no one wigs out.
Yeah.
I don't know.
No, that makes sense.
Yeah.
That makes a lot of sense. So like, yeah, with like Melbourne, what did you see down there besides like what, like, can you elaborate on what you just saw down there that you sort of like liked?
Yeah. I liked that like the security was a big part in that. I liked that you could it wasn't as strict in ways that made sense. It's like you could smoke in the front part of a pub in a lot of places, which just makes so much sense to me for some reason. Like, you shouldn't have to leave the venue to go for a cigarette and then maybe not get back in.
Oh, yeah.
That just doesn't make sense to me. All the clubs had smoking areas. What else? The no lockout laws. That was good. I liked that a lot. And I didn't really see anyone like carking it, to be honest. No one was like vomiting and stuff, or if someone would be like, oh, do you want help? Like, no problems. Like, I got to give them props to that. Like, it's everyone looks out for each other a lot.
Culture.
Yeah. Super different. Very different. Very, very, very different.
Where'd you go when you were down there? Because you lived there.
Yeah.
Yeah, for 6 months.
About that, yeah. I got like over it at the end, so I was like up here.
Oh,
a
really?
lot of that. Yeah. It was a good holiday, but then it became a very long holiday, and I was like, okay, I didn't tell anyone like I DJ'd or anything down there, because I was like, I want to actually make friends. But yeah, it didn't work for me personally. But I lived in Balaclava, which is such a gangster name. But
yeah, I was gonna say, is that the correct pronunciation?
And it's like St Kilda.
Okay.
And yeah, but I spent most of the time in like the city, which was so close.
Were you working there or?
No, I was coming up here for gigs, and because everything is so cheap down there, my rent was like $150 a week, which was unheard of.
Yeah.
Like, I was gobsmacked. And the drinks down there, oh, that's another good thing. The drinks are so cheap down there. You go out, there's a place called New Guernica. Love New Guernica.
Yeah.
Great place.
I've been there. No, I've never been there. I was actually going to go there once, but we didn't.
Oh, you should. It's so good. It's a very like uni kind of place, I think, at some nights. But it's like a 2-level club, massive cap, smoking area in the venue. Yeah, but it has drinks, and it's like they don't overcharge. It's like $5 shots, $5 seltzers, I think, and then it's like $3.50 pints, and it's like, how does that even
How
real?
are you guys making money?
You walk out blind for like $50,
Yeah.
and you're just like, this is good. It's just, I think it's a lot more what would you call it? Considerate in like the fact that a lot of people there are young, and that's what's pumping their industry still, is how many people can afford to go out because it is cheaper and the security is better. I don't know. That's just.
Do you think it's because Sydney's more touristy? It has to keep an image to it. It has it's keep that standard to sort of keep, because Melbourne, like, yeah, it's tourist, like it's touristy, but like Sydney is like Sydney.
Yeah.
Like, it's like the main point that everyone comes to Australia for.
Yeah.
I think it's like got to do with the fact that there's like an image or like a standard they have to uphold.
Yeah.
So if it gets too rowdy, then it's like people will be like, oh, Sydney's just known as like this rowdy city.
Yeah. It's like, I don't know if it's maybe only because I'm 20 years old, but like, I don't see like a problem with that, because I feel like if Sydney was known as like a party city, tourists would come over, spend so much money, it would pump out industry in so many different ways. Like, every sort of like industry in Sydney would get money in some way or another.
Literally, like, even like anywhere in Europe, like Amsterdam.
Yeah.
That's like a party city, like one of the best party cities in the world. Like, you don't see that I don't know their economic status, but it seems like it's thriving. People love going there, so.
I don't hear much bad things coming out of people like partying a lot. It's like, I think is it in Germany at the moment? There's just like so many festivals in the streets and stuff happening, and I'm
Probably.
like,
I saw like a stat. I think Netherlands have over 1,000 festivals in a year.
well, we have like 4. We have like 4.
If we're lucky, and 2 of them are in New Year's, over New Year. But yeah, I think it's like 12 festivals a week.
Wow. And that's not even like a big country, is it?
I think they have less than 1 million people.
So it's just like a lot of doofs.
Yeah, but they're like official doofs. Like, they're like they won't get shut down, and they're not like illegal or anything. They're like actual registered events.
I don't see any harm in that.
Besides, like, obviously the big ones like Awakenings, DEF CON and stuff. Like, I've never even heard of half. I say like 95% of those.
Some of those countries have so many festivals. Like, my mate Max was telling me the other day, like, Belgium is the spot for drum and bass. And I was like, what? I was like, why? Like, just Belgium wouldn't be like the first thing I would think of, really.
Yeah.
But it's, I don't know. I think something needs to happen, but it's also like if you put yourself at the front of that, I feel like you're at risk of like copying the back end of it as well. I don't know. It's a bit risque, but just people need to jump on board with it.
I mean, there's a few, like you played at a recent one, Friends of Friends,
Mm.
and then there's Mode Festival, and I've only
Yeah.
just started hearing about these.
Yeah,
Like was Friends of Friends a thing last year?
I think
Did
so.
they have an event
Yeah.
last year?
Yeah.
How was that festival?
Wow, the loveliest people I've ever seen in my life.
The organisers or like just in general? Everyone?
Oh, like the organisers were all so like caring and just genuine.
Mm-hmm.
And that was like the first introduction I got when we were driving in. And then we actually had to leave and then come back, and everyone was just like, oh, how you going and stuff. And I was like, oh yeah, like I'm good, thanks and stuff. Like everyone was really, really, really chill and just like looking after each other. Like if someone was sitting down, people would go up to them and be like, do you need anything? I don't know, just really supportive of each other. It was like the best weekend I've had in a fucking long time.
That's sick. Yeah, but how was like the festival just as a festival?
Really
obviously it's
good.
not massive, but like how was that?
The stage was really, really well thought out. Like the lights were, like the production was amazing. It was really weird because we parked up and stuff, and we had like a little cabin that was not like maybe like 500, not even 500 meters. I'm really bad at estimating distance. 200 meters maybe away from the cabin, which is not far at all. And we were looking at the stage and we saw like a little bit of light, and we're like, oh, there's like no one here. And then we started walking closer, and because it was so fucking cold, there was like all fog, and the closer you got, it was just so many more people that were like coming through the fog, and we're like, whoa, getting G'd up and stuff. We're like, oh, this is mad. But it was really cool. There was the cabins, which was so good. I actually really liked that it was cold. It would be better than really hot, I think.
Yeah, because it was in June.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's like freezing.
It got to like very, very, very cold, but our cabin had a heater.
Is it like
So
is it everyone camping cabins, or is it just like people camping in tents?
I think you could pay extra for a cabin, I think.
Yeah, right.
But there was a massive camping area, and I didn't actually realize how many people were there until we did like a little tour and looked at all the cars. There were so many cars and tents and stuff. It was really good, and they had like a little kick-ons tent for after the music shut off, which was very good. And they had food, like snags and stuff, which is really good. And they had music on during the day, but it was like so many genres, you just couldn't really get bored of it.
Yeah.
It was really good.
They're like official food trucks and stuff, or was it more just like...
I think it was just the boys
Just
running the like a little canteen kind of thing.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
That sounds like...
It was really cool.
Sounds like a very cooked Year 6 camp.
Something like that, but it was so cool.
Yeah.
Like it was so good.
That's why our festival, it looks very like fun. Yeah. And the lineup was good as well.
I would recommend going next time they do it. It was just like...
Well, I mean, it's only going to get better at this point.
Yeah.
they had a good event this year. It's only going to get better.
It was just...
Bigger and better.
I was like in shock because like you never know what to expect with like a doof because it was
How like
so
open
good.
was it? How much security do they have at that festival?
The boys were doing like
Who's the boys? Like the guys that run it?
yeah.
Yeah.
I was just about to go through the names, but that's a lot easier. The boys who run it. But they all had high vis on, which was good because if you needed something, of course. But they had a few security guards. Weren't needed from what I saw though. Like there was no fights or anything. Nothing. No negative energy the whole weekend. Like I was just shocked. But yeah, no, that was... They were checking tickets at like the road to go in, but that was about it really. It was really nice. It just felt like the grass was really green during the day, like that, like really happy vibes. We were kicking the footy around, and people were like, "Can we play with you?"
That's sick. Yeah, that's a cool festival because we need more of those.
Yes.
That are like very, very open. Like, I was gonna say pitch, but like.
Yeah.
But,
Did you go to pitch? Did you like it?
Yes.
Yeah.
Loved it.
It was good.
It was a great festival, but like, very out of my comfort zone. Very much, especially because it was like the first time. We didn't know what we were doing really. Like we knew what we were getting ourselves into, but we didn't know what we were actually getting ourselves into. Yeah. So now I feel like if we go next year, we'll have a better idea of like what to do, how to stay occupied. Because we sort of like we pre-drank at like as if we're like at a normal festival. Oh. Like at the campsite. We obviously we knew we can go in with like chairs, eskies and stuff, but like it just was such a foreign concept to us that we just didn't really like use it as much as we should have. Yeah. We didn't like take advantage of that. that's one thing we're going to change next year. We're just going to pre-drink in the festival.
Yes.
I mean, not even pre-drink, just drink.
Just
in the
drink,
festival.
yeah. Enjoy the day.
Yeah, that's the difference. Like, yeah, you go to like any other festival, and it's like you got to pre-drink, like whatever you snuck in, and then you've got to like, you know, go into the festival and then, you know, continue it in there.
Yeah.
So it's like, it was a cool festival. Yeah, I really enjoyed it. And the music, and I'm just like still in awe of the main stage. And
Yes.
how, like ginormous it was.
So many people.
It was just, even like the stage itself was like massive. Like I was like, what the fuck? Like those circles like coming up, I was like, that is legit so massive.
Yeah.
Like, those squares, those indented squares.
And we're all sitting there like, we were sober looking at it and we're like, what is it? What like material is that?
Yeah, I
and
was
we're like,
trying
it's
to figure
concrete. Yeah, it wasn't. It was like, it was wood, I think.
It was wood.
Yeah.
For some reason I thought it was like styrofoam.
Yeah, we were just like, oh, like,
Or like plastic.
I want to touch it. Like,
yeah,
what
I
is
feel like
it?
I feel like it's hollow.
Yeah.
It was hollow?
I have no idea.
Yeah, I thought it looked like it was hollow.
We just saw like, I think my mate saw like little wood grains or something, but I was
Right.
like, huh.
Yeah,
It's, like, very clever.
I was trying to figure out what that material was. But I was like, what did they use for that stage?
Like I was looking at it, I was like, it has to be something like sustainable because I feel like pitch is very green.
Yeah, it gives it that vibe.
Yeah.
Well, it is that vibe.
Yeah, 100%. But I was like, it has to be something like recyclable. It's got to be.
Yeah. No, that festival was sick. Definitely going back next year and doing it a lot better.
Same. Did you drive down or did you? Yeah.
It was a fucking mission.
Did you like? Was it a full car or?
Nah, we stopped over at Bendigo.
Oh.
And then from Bendigo we drove. So we only stayed in Bendigo one night. It was funny because the little motel we stayed at, everyone there was going to pitch. The next morning, everyone was like packing their cars and like getting ready for it, and we were like, "Oh yeah, okay."
See you there.
Cool. Yeah, literally. We never saw him though.
No.
Did you drive down?
Yeah,
one drive.
We had 5 of us in a Corolla. And
How'd you even have enough like gear? How'd you even have space to put all your gear and stuff?
We didn't. We were sitting in the car and like all the footwells in the car. Everyone was like this because the whole like floor was filled with shit, and then the whole back of it was full with shit. It was just so fucked. And we stopped over at Bendigo and we're like, we'll just camp. Fuck it. Like we won't pay. We're all poor. We're not gonna pay for a motel. Unfortunately, we really should have. But we camped along the water and got eaten by like mozzies.
Oh no.
Then we got there and my mate had made a TikTok. Tyne, he made a TikTok about the car, and it was just making fun of us. And then when we're at the festival, the car was parked like outside our camping zone, of course, and people were walking past. He's like, "Are you guys from TikTok?" I'm like, oh.
Did you go viral?
Yeah, it actually got like a lot of views.
Oh really?
And a lot of Yeah, I'll send it to you. It's actually kind of funny. It's just really upsetting to like think about. Just sitting in the car. I think it took us like 14 hours or something.
Yeah, it was about Was it 14 hours? It was like 10. It was fucking long.
Yeah.
It was long.
We kept stopping everywhere as well.
Oh really?
Because like
Yeah,
I get
we
very
stopped-
fidgety.
Yeah, we kept stopping. We stopped like 4 times, and we did like 4 hours. We just stopped like major cities.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, but yeah, unfortunately, I have to drive as well next year, unless I move down there. But I don't think I'm moving down there.
That's fair. Yeah.
Like yeah, but in terms of like Melbourne, like because you obviously lived there. Why did you decide to sort of come back? You said that you sort of got over it, but why did you get over it?
I miss Sydney a lot.
Oh really?
Yeah, which is so different to what
Yeah.
everyone else says. Something I noticed was Melbourne hates Sydney. Wow, they hate Sydney so much. Like people would be like, "Oh, are you from Sydney?" And they're like, "I'm sorry." All right, okay,
I'm
no,
sorry.
that's fine. And I had a experience with a person down there, like this person I was living with, just proper spinner kind of vibes, and it just didn't end well. So I was like, okay, well, this is my cue. I'm a head out, and I was like, I'm not going to move back out into another house in Melbourne. So yeah, I moved back to Sydney, and everything was here for me anyway. I'm still building shit here. Like it was pretty like impulsive to move down there. Very impulsive.
It's an experience though.
Yeah. No, 100%. Met a lot of cool people. Yeah.
Like, would you take CitySoup down there?
Hopefully in January.
Yeah.
Hopefully.
Oh, so you're doing New Zealand January, doing a whole tour.
Yeah, I'm trying to like touch into Perth, but I don't know anyone from Perth, so it's a really like foreign.
Yeah, it's so far away.
Yeah, and same with Brisbane. May as well. Like,
yeah.
and maybe Canberra, hopefully.
I feel like Canberra would suit CitySoup because it's like
Yeah.
a uni life, like very uni lifestyle there.
Yeah, same with Newcastle. It's very like all young people, and maybe Wollongong. I don't know. It's Wollongong's
Wollongong.
pretty much the Shire to me anyway, so it's around the corner.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like because with Canberra as well, because it's like as I said, very much like a uni vibe, and it seems like CitySoup would be, especially like, as you said, like the art exhibition part of it. I feel like that would definitely like go hard in Canberra.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
that's something I want to like maintain. Is just including as many people from the crowd as I can, because I think that it feels nice for them and me as well. It's like they get to go to an event and their stuff's up on display, and like I get to have an event with the coolest like art on the wall, and it's a win-win for everybody.
Yeah,
really.
that's cool. So is like music first or art first for CitySoup?
Music first.
Music first.
Yeah.
And then art complements the music.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Why music first?
I feel like it was based off music, like from the get-go.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm not actually like too artsy myself.
Mm-hmm.
Wish I was, but I'm not. I'm really not gifted in that way.
You make music and you play music, so
That's my thing. I'm sticking with that one. I'm happy with that.
part of the arts.
But I don't know. I like see a lot of our crowd members and stuff, and especially being birthed from like raves.
Mm-hmm.
I used to even have painters just paint, like do pieces and stuff on the wall when the events were going on, and people would just like have something to watch. And it's just so stimulating, so many things going on at once.
Like a live art display.
Yeah,
That's
like
actually cool.
it was just like some graffiti guys, and they're just like, oh, can I do the wall? Can I spray the wall? I'm like, yeah, of course, man. Like, go for it. And they'd bring all their tins and stuff and just have a crack at it. And it's just, I like having, I don't know if it's just because I'm so all over the place, but I like having so much going on that you can't get bored.
It's a good way to look at it.
Yeah.
It's a good way to put it. Yeah. Like just in general in your life, or like just
Yeah,
I
probably
was
actually.
gonna say, is that like sort of what you want to go with CitySoup, just like have just chaos?
Yeah, like organized chaos.
Yeah, organized chaos.
Yeah, it's like that's why I play so many genres. It's like there's something for everyone. If you don't
can't
like
get
the
bored.
music, then you look at the art. If you don't like the art, then there's dancers. If there's no dancers, then there's MCs. Like
You can't get bored. As long as they're
Yeah.
like, that keeps them in that little like space.
Yeah.
Yeah.
and it's like if you don't like any of that, then you're with your mates, so it doesn't really matter.
Yeah. True.
Yeah, that's what I think. I don't know.
Good way to put it. I think it's been a fun conversation.
Mm.
I was telling you before the podcast, I want to stay away from the interview style, and I think I've definitely hit that with this episode. Definitely a lot of porridge talk, but
I talk a lot.
no,
I'm sorry.
that's great. No, don't be sorry. That's awesome. It makes my job easier, and plus it makes it's entertaining for everyone. So it's great.
Good stuff.
But yeah, thanks for watching, guys. Obviously, I hope you guys enjoyed that conversation, and thanks for listening. Hopefully that conversation was insightful. Some of it, maybe some of it wasn't. But no, thanks for listening, guys. Thanks for watching. Make sure you follow Bella on all their socials. Links will be in the description. Illicit and CitySoup will also be in the description. Make sure you follow them. Obviously, like, share, subscribe to the podcast. It helps a lot. But besides that, thanks for watching, guys, and thanks for listening.